Janelle, as your mother, would you want to share any more of your feelings about your mental health struggles through the years
Sure. I
that I
mean,
was
like,
totally unaware of until
well,
recently?
yeah, because
She hid it from all of us.
I did, and I like looking back on it, I shouldn't have hid it from anybody, but I was just too embarrassed to talk about it. But like I said, I had my first memory of mental health at 4, and then dad struggled all throughout his 20s and 30s. How many times was dad hospitalized? Do you know like
If I
offhand?
had to venture to guess, it would be at least 30 times.
Really? Oh my
Yeah, so
goodness.
what
Through
was
the
the
years.
pattern of how often Janelle, I mean, because Janelle's talking, like specifically her, had to deal with that stuff going on with dad? Was it every 2 years, or is it more often than that?
Well,
Probably every couple of
I feel like
years.
me and Jimmy have a lot more memories of that
You guys do,
than you and Jennifer
yeah.
do. Jimmy and Jennifer are our other
But as
siblings,
dad
but
got older, they were more few and far
yeah.
between. They weren't as often. It was more when he was in his
But
20s.
so I'm a highly emotional person. They will both tell you that I'm a highly emotional person. I don't cope well with life, I guess. But
All the empaths out there can relate because Janelle is definitely a
I'm the empath.
big time
I mean, I feel
empath.
like we're all empaths, but you guys cope a lot better than I do,
Yeah.
Yes, I do. I compartmentalize everything.
But when I got to high school, I had a really rough time because I started getting bullied by classmates. And then there was some other really dark stuff happening all through like freshman, sophomore year, like in high school and in my personal life. And I just didn't know how to cope. So I started doing these rituals that I didn't tell you guys about till years later. There was one I would have to like when I heard someone coming into the house. I don't know if you guys do
Are
you
you
know
referring to
this?
like the OCD stuff?
Yeah.
OCD, yeah.
Yeah.
When I heard one of you guys coming into the house, I would have to open the closet door like 12 times
Mm-hmm.
and shut it again before you guys got into the house, or something bad would happen if I didn't do it. And then I used to like read a paragraph like 10 times just or until it felt safe to like move on to the next paragraph. And that's just how my anxiety was manifesting itself at that time,
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't talk to anybody about it until later on. And I have regrets about
Did
that
you ever
because
write about it?
it probably came out in my writing,
But
but
not, you know,
I didn't
specifically writing to explain that you were just writing
I
for.
didn't talk about it directly, but it probably indirectly I probably did without even realizing it.
Yeah.
But so then that faded away as my stress faded away. So
By the way,
I,
Janelle has a degree in communications and she loves to write. She's an English major.
well, thank you,
Which is
mom.
the writing
That's why the
reference.
writing reference
That's
came
that's the
in.
writing reference, yeah. But like as a teen at that time, I was just way too embarrassed to confide in anybody about that, and it affected me. It affected my mental health, and it really, when you're going through stuff like that at a young age, it really gets into your psyche, and you find ways to cope. And the I didn't learn until later it was called obsessive compulsive disorder.
Right.
It's what I was doing. So
Which begs the question of like when you're that young, like you said, you find ways to cope.
right.
Like a lot of us develop our coping skills at young ages, depending on what we're going through. So we don't necessarily know that you should develop positive coping skills. You just do whatever you can
Yeah,
do
like
to
yeah.
feel
Whatever makes
better
you
at the
feel
time.
comfortable, yeah.
Exactly.
And that's how you develop
Yeah.
all kinds of different coping skills, whether it be good or bad, you know?
Yeah, so I've always had I feel like I've always had anxiety. It just didn't really manifest itself
Mm-hmm.
in a severe way. I mean, it kind of did through my teens, but then it went away because I wasn't as stressed. Like all through my 20s, I was in college and I really wasn't stressed when I was going to college for my undergrad and graduate degrees. But then I got to my 30s and a lot of things happened to my 30s. There were like a domino effect. And then I ended up having a panic attack, which my panic attack was weird because I can't even really describe it. It felt like my arms were floating.
Mm-hmm.
Did I tell you guys? I ever
Yes,
tell you
yes.
this?
At times, yeah.
It felt like my arms were floating like off of my body. And I was like, what is happening to me? I thought I was dying. So the next day I woke up and nothing seemed real. And then I realized there's a word for that too. It's called derealization.
Yes.
So at the time, I couldn't find anything on how I was feeling. So, of course, I went to the doctor, got all the labs done. The labs were perfect except for vitamin D and B12 were off.
Which
But
that derealization you want to talk about in future
yeah, because I
episodes
know
also.
I know
We'll
a
go
lot
more
of
in
people
detail.
will suffer with that, but they
Yeah.
don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was myself.
Yeah.
it's hard to explain to somebody who's never experienced it, but it's like,
Out of body experience.
it's like the world is not real.
Mhm.
Like, this is the best way I can describe it. Like, if you're standing in front of something that looks so amazing, like the Grand Canyon or like Niagara Falls, and you're like in
The
awe
awe
of
of it,
it,
yeah.
like that feeling that you get is like it turns chronic.
And
Like
you and
that
you
feeling,
can't
like
really stop it.
you can't get it to go away because it's a form of anxiety, you know?
Mhm.
So we'll definitely be talking about that in later episodes because that's a biggie for me because I still deal with it when I get really, really stressed out.